All right, guys, it's that time. I know you guys like this video. It's time to talk about the 3 stocks that I'm buying right now today. And our picks in the past have just been crushing it so far, and that's great. But nobody cares about the past, Luke. We want to talk about right now. So let's get into those stocks today. I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype. Now remember, these are just the stocks that I'm specifically targeting right now. There's actually 15 stocks on my watch list that I'm looking at, but some of them have had great runs. Some of them are still significantly overvalued and need to come back down, kind of like those old man stocks and some of those dividend plays and some of those stocks like that. So I'm not looking to buy those yet. If I could talk. Ooh, it's a struggle today, I think. These to me are on the biggest discounts based upon my valuation and my plan, and stocks come on this list, come off this list, go back on this list. You know, the things change, things move. So you've got to keep your watch list updated. But these right now are the ones right now today that are on their best, the best value per se out there. Not value in terms of value stock, the best value in regards to my valuation and my plan. Remember, I got blasted for having Google, Meta, Amazon, all those stocks on my list when they were in their 80s, low 90s, basically when they got under $100. I got blasted because why would you want those? They're trash, they're going down, whatever the case was. The simple answer is they were the best value at the time. And then after they kind of started their run, it was, hey, we're looking at Tesla, we're looking at Palantir. Look at those stocks at around 100 and, down in the 6s and 7s for Palantir. Those right there were the best buys in the stock market. And now we got our latest little crop right here because some of our plays have run up to where, hey, they're still great values, but they're no longer the best value that I see out there. And the huge mega Memorial Day sale is live where you can see my buy and sell alerts in real time. You can see my watch list with price targets. You can take 5 courses for free, hang out with the best 6 and 7 figure Discord members ever, and have access to me anytime you want. Slide into my DMs, get on live Q&As. So much information down there, it's unbelievable. Actually, we have a stock analyzing tool. It's going to be free for a member to use as well. Just so much down there. Make sure you check out the pinned comment and see if it's right for you and, take advantage of that Memorial Day sale before it ends. All right, so right now for me, these are the best deals in the market as of right now. Now, I'm not saying they're as good as when Meta was in the 80s. I'm not saying they're screaming deals like that. I don't know if we'll see deals like that. That was kind of a once in a decade type deal on a stock there. But these to me are the best deals in regards to, my portfolio, my plan, and my valuations on these stocks. So stock number 1 would be SoFi. And honestly, guys, I know it's been on my list for a while. It's one of those stocks that just kind of, they give great guidance, have very good earnings calls, are continuing to grow, continuing to get closer and closer and closer to profitability. They cannot execute any better. However, I can't say that they're not also stuck in kind of that whole, the banking crisis type thing that's going on right now. I say crisis with air quotes because it's not nearly as disaster as everybody's made it out to be. However, I can say, hey, SoFi is, fintech. They're not profitable right now, and they would definitely fall into kind of that small bank type category. So I cannot say that it should just totally break out and be totally not lumped in with everybody else, because I understand why they're being lumped in with somebody else. And Wall Street isn't going to do the type digging that we do to figure out the winners from the losers and that whole thing. They're just going to lump everybody into losers, honestly, at this stage. I mean, you got the CEO gobbling up shares, just everything performing underneath right. They're just out of favor right now in a sector that's out of favor. And this happens in the stock market. I know they're beat down. And honestly, on the flip side of all this, that's what you want as a long-term buy and hold investor. An extended period of time where stocks that you think are great are beaten down, and you get a discount and you can build out a much larger position at a much cheaper cost per share than you should have been able to if it would have just gradually gone up after each earnings call and continued to improve. Now, obviously, it will have its run one day, but for right now, it continues to stay beaten down. And as long as they continue to execute, I can find very few places to where putting my money there is a safer bet than I think it is with SoFi right now. So next up is kind of a controversial one. Matter of fact, it's a lot of controversial one. Every time I just say the word, it just, a lot of negative comments come into the comment section here. But I'm going to say it anyways, and it's PayPal, guys. And I know it's one of those things that they haven't had incredible earnings, but they've had good earnings, good guidance, and it just can't get out of its own way. I mean, it's in FinTech, which the sector's completely beaten down. You got Square or Block or whatever the heck it's called now having issues. So that's bled over into PayPal too, even though they say they're not having those issues. There's just a lot of things working against PayPal right now in regards to this stock price, but the company underneath has been performing just fine if you're paying attention to their earnings calls and actually going through the data. Now, I agree, it's not mind-blowing. I'm not saying that at all. It's not beaten down as bad as Meta was. I'm also not trying to say that either. But what I'm saying is there are very few places I can find to where, in terms of valuation, there are stocks that are cheaper in regards to valuation than where PayPal is right now. Now, I agree, the run up after all the illness stuff and the shutdown and everything, whatever the case was, that stock price was ridiculous. I don't have that as my target price or anything else like that. But I also don't need it to get halfway there in order for this to be an incredible gainer in my portfolio. And I absolutely think it is trading significantly undervalued. Now, I hear all you guys in advance who are going to scream at me saying, Luke, it's been down for over a year now. It's gone nowhere. Why would you continue to put money? It's clearly a loser because it hadn't gone anywhere for a year, year and a half or so. I guess we're not quite to a year and a half here, but we're well past a year now in regards to not going anywhere. Why would you keep putting money into that? Isn't that stock a loser? And my response to you is, during the greatest bull market of all time, this past bull market we just had, the greatest bull market of all time, Tesla traded flat for 6 years. Apple, perhaps the greatest company during this bull run, traded flat for 6 months at a time, sometimes a year, a little bit more than a year. I can say the same for Microsoft, for Google, for Amazon. All those companies during the greatest bull run of all time had periods where they traded flat or down for 6 months or a year or more. But you're trying to tell me during a bear market, when we had the highest inflation in history, the Fed raised rates the highest in history, and coming off a ridiculous high that was way too high, it's unrealistic for a stock to trade down or flat for a period of a year, year and a half or so during that kind of a time frame, much less during the greatest bull market of all time. If that can happen to Apple during the greatest bull market of all time, it's not unreasonable or out of the ordinary or signals anything different or wrong with PayPal in regards to it trading down during, basically a bear market during some very unique times in the history of the markets. So I agree, not everybody likes the stock. Understand, that's okay. The beauty of stock market is there's tons of stocks you can buy. There's tons of winners you can buy, and we don't need all the same winners. There's not going to be 5 winners or 10 winners or 20 winners. There's going to be hundreds of winners, maybe even thousands of winners over the long run. So we don't all need the right stocks. But for me, this is the right stock for me and my portfolio. All right, and on to the final stock here, and that would be Airbnb. And again, I know not everybody likes it. I just love the stock. I think they're doing great things. They continue to get better quarter after quarter after quarter. They're coming into their good season here, and they were on a nice little run, but now they pulled back pretty significantly. And that, to me, if it continues to pull back, it's going to really get into that undervalued territory, really undervalued. So I've really got my eyes on Airbnb, especially if it gets underneath 100. You'll definitely see some big buys from me back into this stock here. Not that I sold it. It kind of sounded like I traded it. I haven't traded it, but I haven't been buying it recently because it's had such a nice run up in the stock price. So if it gets back down around that range, I absolutely will be buying again. And if you don't know how to do evaluation and have a plan for a stock, make sure you check out the Market Insiders private group where we teach you exactly that through 5 courses. You get unlimited access to me in my DMs. We do live Q&As. We got tons of exclusive videos you can watch. You got access to the best 6- and 7-figure Discord out there. I mean, there's just more tools. We got more tools coming. We have a nice little stock analyzer tool coming for you that is free for members to use. So make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership is right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.